Hi everybody, Father Bill Holtzinger here, and this is your Friday reflection. Well, how is your Lent going? Have you been keeping with your Lenten observance? Have you maybe slipped a little bit? Well, you got about a week. It's coming up. So this is coming up is going to be Palm Sunday, entering into what is called Holy Week, Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and then Easter Vigil Saturday. So maybe you can try. If you've slipped up, give a good week at it. How about that? Okay. Well, for Lent, my special gift to Lent, or my observance, has involved the house. Let me give you the story if you've not heard it. But about 4 years when I came into Holy Trinity, was assigned here and arrived, I noticed that there was I was kind of a weak spot in the floor right in front of the shower. So in the main bedroom, there's a main bathroom, and I would just kind of step over that like, that's not right. And if I push on it, it would kind of dip in, and that meant there's some kind of dry rot of some kind, or just a weak floor of some kind. So we've been thinking about, should we deal with this? I'm not sure. Well, this year, in fact, just last month or so, we decided we are going to go after this. Yes, we realized it could be a big issue. We weren't sure. And it turns out as we start tearing things apart, it was a big deal. We have a contractor who was in the process of doing this, realized we actually need to get a building permit. And so we had to have complete plans of the house made. We had to get an architect to come over, measure the building, check it out, and then make the drawings. In fact, hopefully you're seeing these now, a video of some of the plans that were then officially looked at by the county. We were given the okay for the actual permit to do the construction, or the deconstruction and construction. As we were pulling off, or I should say as the contractor was pulling off the flooring, clearly the dry rot was pretty severe. The subfloor had to be replaced, and we noticed that actually it was going into the other bed or bathroom, because there was another bathroom, a guest bathroom, on the other side of the wall. And so that meant maybe that needed to be looked at. Sure enough, as we start looking at that, there's some other dry rot there. So we pulled our permits to do this work, and that meant, well, I was told I will need to move out of the house at some point because I won't be able to use the bathroom or the shower or the toilet or the shower, and it'll be just a mess. Well, a genius contractor that we have, his name is Jordan, and he was able to work it so that I wouldn't need to move out of the house. We'll try to keep the toilet and the shower in the guest bathroom. Meanwhile, the main issue is this main bathroom off of the main bedroom, and that gets totally gutted. Hopefully you're seeing some images here of what it looked like. In the tearing out, the floor was just totally dry rotted. And it appears that this was many years in coming. There's also evidence that it was actually, we'll say, attempted to be repaired but not appropriately, and maybe not even done correctly, but then covered up. It's hard to know, going back a long time ago. Possibly, and we're not sure, but possibly upon purchasing the house to make it pass inspection, because as it was, there's no way it would have passed inspection. But again, back to our contractor was able to then say, okay, this is what we need to do, and we went for it. Now, it took a while to get the actual building permit, so we were probably a month into it when we finally started being able to do stuff. And here we are now. Today is Wednesday the 25th. It's well over a month actually, and we're working on it, or at least the contractor and his partner. And we had electricians come in, we had plumbers to come in. The plumbing, which was the main issue, is now done well, and it's not yet completed, but it's 99% there. We just have to then put into new flooring. We'll have to do some more, putting more walls. We have a new vanity and a mirror and other things, new surround on the shower where the tub is, new shower itself, and other fixtures like lights and things like that. Those will be coming in time, and just possibly, very possibly, by Easter maybe, the main bathroom will be usable. We'll see. Again, it needs also pass inspection, so we'll see. So what am I doing in the meantime? So, well, in the meantime, I'm just I'm using my regular bedroom, but I would then use the toilet in the other room, the guest bathroom, but that's going to be no longer used because tomorrow that's going to get pulled out, and hopefully they're going to put a toilet in the main bathroom temporarily. We'll just see. Again, there's two guys working on this project, but the main contractor is kind of going solo on a lot of it. But the shower is not usable, either of them actually. So I'm now actually camping. I'm camping in the driveway. I have a little trailer. I call it my zombie apocalypse option. It's really used so I can go, have recreation on my days off or take a couple weeks off. I love going to the Oregon Star Party. This trailer is perfect for that for me. And it's some 13 years old now. See, 15 years old. And it's still in decent shape. I've had to change some of the appliances, but that's another hole. If you're a trailer user, you know how that is. But the good news, again, is it's going to be taken care of, which is a blessing. But it did create inconveniences for me. It did create this, like, how are we going to do this? And I needed to get out of my comfort level. I had to deal with the change in my behaviors in the morning and a whole bunch of other stuff. If you've done any kind of construction or remodeling in your house, you know what I'm talking about. But one thing I didn't need to do was move out because, again, the contractor, Jordan, was really good about trying to make that a deal so that I can stay in the house and use things as they are available to me. So, Lent. That's been my Lent, and because I was prepared for it coming, I'm doing pretty good about it. I've laughed at the setbacks. There's things that we didn't know or were revealed as we tore things out, but I was prepared for it. I would say, though, the true crosses are things that we're not prepared for, that we're not expecting, and how we take those. Maybe you are going through one of those during Lent. Maybe something unexpected has happened to you, or there's been a loss and you're grieving, or maybe there is some separation of relationship. I don't know. There's all kinds of things that befall us, and those are the real crosses. This relates to the homily for this coming weekend. Deacon Brett's going to be preaching. I don't know the exact details, but we're kind of walking around and thinking about how the Passion of Christ is about suffering. And while he chose this and knew it was coming, really, we generally don't like to do that. We don't generally choose our crosses. They get put upon us. The question becomes, do we accept them? Do we allow God in them? Or do we just complain and be bitter and all that kind of stuff, have pity parties? That's something I might do. So, with 1 week left, whatever it is, think about this. Maybe if you're struggling with something, can you do it for a week? There's a lot of things when I know ahead of time that are going to be difficulties, I can prepare myself. But this is where the whole idea of this Lenten practices is so that we can prepare ourselves for those sufferings that we do have and we did not expect. By doing them, we become hardened, not in our hearts, but in our sense of determination to walk headlong into those crosses and to just walk with Christ in them. So I hope that has been for you. And if it has not been, I want to encourage you to let go to God, to surrender to His will. Yes, some of these things are not of your making and they befall us, but all things can be turned for good for those who believe in Him, who are friends of God. And that's where it's so important that we share then that suffering, not just with anybody, but with Jesus Himself, so that we can know something about His suffering and what He has done for us, but also that then we can become strong in our virtues and in a godly way of living. So I already mentioned Deacon Brett is preaching, so I want you to pray for him. Again, I don't know all the details. Again, just kind of we're piecing out the ideas of the value of suffering or something about suffering and how we can be compassionate to each other. Again, you will see what it is when he finally puts it together, but please pray for him. And pray specifically that he will be inspired by the Holy Spirit to be able to talk to us, preach at Mass about the things that we need to hear, specifically around the passion, suffering, and death of Christ, which is Palm Sunday. Finally, when you do come to Palm Sunday Mass, it's the regular times that we have, I want you to know that we will be passing out palms at the end of Mass, not at the beginning or anywhere in the middle. And this is our way to, let's say, pragmatically offer the palms, but so that people are listening at Mass and not messing the whole place up with those palms during Mass. So after the end of Mass, as you leave through the doors, there will be people to give you palms as you leave. And I hope to see you then. God bless you, and bye-bye.